Hulu making some news today. Hulu, obviously a private company, and yet and sort of known for being, among other things, a competitor to Netflix when it comes to the video on demand type service. Wall Street Journal reporting that Hulu is developing an online TV bundle that will let subscribers stream major broadcast and cable channels. Hulu is owned by this odd conglomerate of huge players in the space: Disney, 21st Century Fox, Comcast. So on the one hand, Jason, you would think that as part owners of Hulu, these businesses that have their own content would be very open to helping Hulu make this succeed. On the other hand, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago? And it was about this time, I think in 2013, that one of the big stories we were talking about was how these major media companies were looking to sell Hulu. They were basically washing their hands and saying, we're done with this. Let's try and find a buyer. Obviously, that has changed.
Yeah, sure. I think perhaps in the past, maybe Hulu was viewed more as a traditionally just a competitor to Netflix. I think when you look at this deal, the potential that this has, I don't think this is really anything about competing with Netflix as much as it's just a testament to the changes that this space is witnessing right now. I mean, it's kind of coming down to really who needs the middleman, right? I mean, for the longest time, you look at the value chain. For the longest time, this has really all been about distribution, and so for the longest time, we've gotten our TV thanks to the cable providers, because cable was the only way to really get it. I mean, we had distribution for a long time via an antenna on the top of our house. That changed to cable, and cable really kind of held the upper hand there. But as the internet continues to do, it has completely changed the game on so many fronts, because it has opened up the distribution channels in just a major way. And I think this is a great idea. I mean, I think that we're already seeing big companies like Verizon taking note and trying to offer skinnier bundles in order to be able to keep customers. And you're seeing that you can go without cable and have HBO, Hulu, Netflix a la carte and get a lot of what you want. I think it's going to be very interesting to see at what point we get to where the cost benefits disappear, because for the longest time it's been one of economics more than anything else. I mean, you could say that you could get Netflix and Hulu and HBO and pay far less than you would for a cable subscription, and that's true. It makes a lot of sense. You're really getting what you want and not having to deal with all the other stuff that cable companies charging you that you don't use. But at some point, the demand for the products that are out there that are taking advantage of this new distribution, the economics start to kind of come a little bit closer together, and it'll be interesting to see when that is. But with that said, I mean, I think this Hulu deal is particularly noteworthy because of the Disney relationship, the Fox relationship, the access to sports that both networks have. And if I'm Comcast or Verizon, I mean, I'm taking note of this, because this is a big threat.
Well, that's part of what I find so interesting about this, is that Comcast is part of the ownership.
Sure.
So, maybe they're being really prescient in terms of disrupting their own business model. But you're right. Hulu potentially have access to all of the content you just said, and yet we don't know what's going to be in this bundle. They haven't shared that. They haven't presumably decided upon that. This is a service that's going to launch in early 2017. One thing that apparently has been decided on is the price, which is expected to be around $40 a month.
And that's right in line with, I think, what people talked about with the Apple potential offering that Apple may or may not come up with at some point. I think that's a good round number. It offers sort of that compelling price where you feel like, yep, that's going to be cheaper than what I'm paying now.
Although that's a lot.
You still have to pay for your internet, though.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
if you buy that by itself,
it's also a lot more than you're going to pay for Netflix. It's a lot more than you're paying for HBO Go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And further, to your point about the pipes, I mean, with Comcast having part ownership in Hulu, having a very big ownership in the pipes that go to your house, what becomes more valuable, right? The content or the way people are getting that content? And that's going to be a question we see asked and answered, I think, here in the coming 5 years.
You hold the keys to people's internet.
Sure.
I mean, that's the ultimate thing right there. You have to have the internet to stream. So
Yep.
I think that, I did cut our cords late last fall, and it's just shocking that when you really boil it down to how much they're going to charge you just for internet versus how much you charge for the entire package.
I mean, well,
it's over
supply and
2/3.
demand dictate this. I
Yeah.
mean, it's plain to see that. It is all about distribution, and the more people using the internet and the demand more bandwidth, I mean, there is going to be reason for those prices to go up because the demand is there, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, there's no problem with that, right? That's how this works.
Yep.
So, I mean, again, I think it's neat to see how the distribution changes the space. I think that those cost benefits are going to sort of fade away as time goes on because, like it or not, I mean, everybody's going to want to get paid and being a part of this. And Comcast and Verizon aren't going anywhere. It's just a matter of where they stand in the value chain with this relationship.